Estamos reaccionando a la tier list de los carros de los millonarios. No es muy literal y está muy bien editado. Está en inglés, así que se los voy a ir traduciendo.
Zuckerberg has enough money to buy a brand new Lamborghini every single
Mark Zuckerberg tiene la oportunidad de comprarse un Lamborghini durante toda su
day
vida.
for the rest of his entire
Un Lamborghini por el resto de su vida.
life and still have
Y aún
billions of
así le va a sobrar dinero. ¡Venga su madre!
dollars left over. So why does he choose to drive a Honda Fit?
Pero Mark Zuckerberg maneja un Honda, weón. ¡Un Honda! ¡Se parece al carro de mi tía, weón!
Well, according to him, it's safe, comfortable, and not
¿Es seguro? No es lento y es muy
too
cómodo.
showy. The second car is a $1.4 million Pagani Huayra.
Ah, bueno. También tiene este, por cierto.
S tier. Ken Griffin, founder of the sexiest hedge fund of all time,
No sé, pero tiene cara de ser el CEO del sexo, weón.
Citadel, once spent $200 million on this.
Güey, yo una vez me compré un chicharrón preparado, güey, que se parecía igualito a esa madre. Era igualita a esa mamada, güey. Es más, se los enseño. Chicharrón prepara. Era igualito, güey. Miren. Sí se parecen, ¿no, güey? Imagínense. ¿Esto? Sí se parecen, güey. Sí se parece. Arte, güey. Arte en un chicharrón preparado, güey.
Interesting assortment of paint. Given Kenneth's track record of buying things that are overpriced thanks to sentimental value, you might think that he drives a Mark IV Supra, or maybe an
¡Oh! Su puta. Amigo, yo quiero un Tsuru tuneado, weón. Yo quiero un Tsuru tuneado, chat. Güey, mi mayor sueño es tener un Tsuru tuneado. Patronarle la bocina a los vecinos.
El problema es que no puedo dormir, tengo otra operación más al rato.
Así, miren. Tsuru tuneado. Bueno, yo quiero un Tsuru tuneado, dude. Así. Para romperle la bocina a mis vecinos, güey. Yo sí quiero un Tsuru tuneado, güey. Sí sé manejar, by the way.
old BMW.
No lo hago por la seguridad vial de los que están en la carretera, pero sí sé manejar.
No, my boy Kenneth drives an almighty LaFerrari.
¡Hala! Se compró un Ferrari.
With its arousing curves,
¡Oh, perro!
You can see there are 3 circular buttons.
erotic V12 engine,
Next step, I want to move
Hijo
on
de
to
su
the
madre.
door panel.
and salacious quarter-mile time of 9.7
No
seconds.
sé, amigo, yo qué hago puntuando carros cuando la neta ni siquiera carro propio tengo, ¿no? Le hace
Ken
run
Griffin
run.
seems like the type of guy that would buy a LaFerrari and just keep it in his garage because he's scared of depreciation, so A tier. Rihanna is worth 1.4
Rihanna,
billion
ay, hijo de
thanks
su
to her
madre.
music and cosmetic line, and her car collection is magical. She has multiple Porsches, an Aventador, a Maybach, a Chevy Suburban, and a legendary Mercedes SLR McLaren.
¡A la bestia,
Fun
weón!
fact, this super rare car is also owned by former billionaire Kanye West.
Hey, good morning, Kanye.
El Kanye West no era el güey que hizo un culto satánico. Sí, no, sí, uy, Kanye West está rarito, pero tiene buena música.
Solid A
bueno.
tier. Michael Bloomberg drives a Chevy Suburban.
Ay, parece un pujo de esos chatitos.
Jack Ma, former CEO of Alibaba, drives a Chevy Blazer.
Alibaba no era el que cantaba el de Aladdin, la de Príncipe Alibaba. ¿No? Bueno, sí.
That he bought from Alibaba.
Ta, 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 ta,
The
ta,
richest
ta,
rapper of
ta,
all time, Jay-Z,
ta, ta,
has a
ta,
godlike
ta,
automotive
ta, ta,
collection.
ta,
But his
ta,
coolest
ta,
car
ta.
has to be his $8 million Maybach
Su
Accelerator.
madre, 8 millones, güey.
One of a kind.
¿Cuántas picafresas son esa mamada? Chingo, güey.
And high
Chingos,
performance vehicle
chingos.
that was originally built to test the limits of Folda's Accelero tire model.
Sí suena como un carro. Yo, amigos, no esperen la mejor opinión
It's a cool
sobre
car,
carros, güey.
but for
La
$8
neta no
million,
le sé,
I
güey.
would rather
Es
just
una pura
buy the
mamada
state
porque
of
no le sé.
Wisconsin. I think it's too expensive. Say B tier. Steve Ballmer is worth $70 billion and drives a
70
Ford Fusion
billones de
hybrid. This car
dólares.
was hand delivered to him by the Ford CEO.
How are you? Like this car? Oh, beautiful, man.
It's a solid D tier. Steve Jobs was the former
¡Hijo de su
CEO of
madre,
Apple,
güey! El
which is
dueño de
currently the
Microsoft. No, era el de Apple. Güey, ya mejor me callo, güey.
highest
Estoy
value
pura
company in
mamada.
the entire world. And his car buying
Yo creo que sí me ando comprando uno en Coppel, güey. 7 meses sin
habits
intereses.
are the most unique on this list. Steve Jobs leased a brand new SL55 AMG every 6 months due to a loophole in California law that allowed him to legally drive without a license plate. To quote F. Scott Fitzgerald, let me tell you about the very rich.
Oh, lo
They are
bestia.
different from you and me.
Para
Not
los que no entendieron, Steve Jobs se compraba el mismo coche cada 6 meses. Solamente para no ponerse una placa, weón. Solo por eso no se compraba o sea, cambiaba su coche cada 6 meses para no cambiarse la placa, dude.
a super interesting car, but I respect the commitment. B tier. According to Google, the highest net worth in the entire world is 170 billion. But what if I told you that there exists a trillionaire?
Un
I had 100 million when I
trillonario.
was 31, 32. I became a trillionaire quite recently.
Trillionaire meaning 1,000 billion.
Correct.
Andrew Tate, the top G, takes great pride in his collection of properties, firearms, and last but not least, supercars, with his most infamous ride undoubtedly being his Bugatti Chiron. Costing $3 million, only 500 Chirons were produced, making Top G the owner of a truly special vehicle.
What color is your Bugatti?
¿Qué dijo eso, ma? ¡Ah, pero este pendejo lo detuvieron! ¡Sí es cierto! Valió verga, chat. Por eso, no anden diciendo mamadas en Twitter, chat. No anden diciendo mamadas en Twitter, güey. Para los que no saben, a este güey lo detuvieron. Lo buscaban en países por fraude, una mamada así. Y en Twitter se puso a decir mamadas, ¿no? Y lo cacharon por las mamás que decía en Twitter, güey.
Of Andrew Tate's Bugatti Chiron on this tier list is not indicative of my opinions on his worldviews and previous actions. I just don't believe a big showy lifestyle is appropriate.
No entendí
Sam
ni verga.
Walton, the founder of Walmart,
¡A la
believes in frugality.
verga!
In 1979, Sam bought a Ford F-150, which is currently on display in the Walmart Museum. Touching the truck's handle is rumored to
¿Walmart
bestow
tiene un museo, mamón? ¿En qué son?
upon you the gift of
Entonces
frugality.
te van a llevar.
Sí, güey, ya valí verga.
There's some decent lore behind this truck, so I'd say B tier. Larry Page is the co-founder of Google. He once said, if you're not doing some things that are crazy, then you're doing the wrong things. This is a quote that he lives by, as having an $86 billion net worth and choosing to drive a Toyota Prius is indeed crazy. D tier. Kim Kardashian has a $3.8 million car collection. For Christmas in 2020, her former husband Kanye West bought her 5 Maybachs.
I'm on a Maybach. Y'all got the Maybach? I'm on the Maybach.
Bueno.
Kim calls her Maybach S580 her favorite baby ever. She also has an Urus with a Mansory wide body kit and one-off wheels. But her
Amigo,
most
yo estoy viendo un
universally
video de
loved car
carros
has
cuando
to
Chile
be
ni siquiera
her
sé manejar.
fabric-wrapped
Una vez evadí
Lamborghini.
impuesto, no
Okay,
fue
you
bonito lo que
guys,
pasó
my new
después.
ride is here.
Una vez me di el impuesto, no fue bonito lo que pasó. ¡Hijo de su madre! ¿Le chocó? No sé qué es eso, güey, pero como que lo forró, güey, con ese material con el que tu mamá te hacía tu disfraz de ovejita de la primaria, güey. O sea, sí topa, ¿no? Que tu mamá le dicen, mi hijo, para el festival de la primaria tiene que ir vestido de ovejita, güey. Y tu mamá compraba como 3 metros de esa mamada y te envolvía en esa cosa y esa, güey. De ese material forró un Toyota. Hijo de su madre, güey.
Car enthusiasts were inspired and amazed at such a tasteful addition to the $200,000 car.
Está bien culero, güey.
Sam Bankman Fried was a founder of FTX, the infamous crypto exchange that went
su madre,
absolutely
cripto,
bankrupt,
güey.
and is the only person on
Miren,
this list
aquí
to speak.
no voy a decir estupideces porque quiero que mis canales de YouTube no estén invadidos por cripto el día de mañana. Así que voy a callarme el hocico y vamos a seguir
Become a
viendo el video.
millionaire twice. But let's focus on this version of Sam, when his net worth was $26 billion. He famously drove a
también está en la
Toyota
cárcel.
Corolla, and
¡Hijo de su
everyone
madre!
marveled at his humbleness and altruism.
You trust the guy more when you see the car he drives.
He's brilliant, and I trust him, and I like
He
him.
doesn't even have window tints.
The guy you see next to me is the most generous billionaire.
Everyone except for the top G.
When I know people with lots of money and they sit there and they want to drive an old Toyota Corolla, these people are always fucking weirdos.
What color is your SEC violation?
¡A
The Toyota
la
Corolla is actually
bestia!
pretty decent. I'd say C tier. Despite his $100 billion
Oigan,
net
¿por
worth.
qué tuvieron a este cabrón? No entendí. No entendí, güey.
Warren Buffett is a very frugal young man. Buffett even eats McDonald's on a daily basis.
If the market is down, he'll have just 2 sausage patties. If the market's flat, sausage McMuffin. If the market's up, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit.
After hearing about his quirky eating habits, I was a bit disappointed to find that Warren Buffett drives the most boring, mediocre rich person car I've ever seen in my entire life. A Cadillac XTS. It's a very uninteresting car, but Warren Buffett is a legend, so B tier.
Estoy feliz de verte de nuevo. Hola. Hijo de su madre.
Hello. I'm Bill Gates, chairman of Microsoft.
Bill Gates bought a Porsche Turbo in 1979, and a few speeding tickets later, he realized that he needed more power. So he bought a Porsche 959, the world's fastest street-legal production car of the time. It was one of the first high-performance cars with all-wheel drive and pulled 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. The 959 debuted for around $600,000. Now, they're 7 figures. William Henry Gates III gets a solid A tier. Rich person number 15 has driven a large variety of vehicles, from a Ford Model T to a modified BMW
Me
M.
rehuso a darle $8 a este cabrón, güey. Nada más para tener mi plaquita del Este, güey. Ya todos mis amigos se lo compraron, pero yo me rehuso. El día que yo me compre el verificado, güey, que un día se me va a alocar la canica y voy a comprar el verificado, güey. Si un día me compro el verificado, güey, háganme bullying, güey. Háganme llorar, güey. De verdad. Háganme llorar, güey. Háganme bullying del bueno, güey. Me lo merezco. Por darle $8 a este pendejo, güey. Háganme bullying. Neta, güey. Si yo me llevo a comprar el verificado de Twitter, güey.
But his most iconic ride was undoubtedly his $1 million ultra-rare McLaren F1.
There are 62 McLarens in the world, and I will own one of them.
Emphasis on the word was. One day, Elon was driving to an investor meeting for his little tech company, PayPal. His co-founder, Peter Thiel, was in one of the passenger seats.
A ver, ¿a qué te refieres que será el fin de cómo te conocemos? Tengo que explicar.
While they were driving along the open Californian roads, Peter turned to Elon and said, "I'd like to see what this car can do." Then, in an act of ultimate badassery, Elon turned to Peter, said, "Watch this," and crashed into an embankment. This F1 is an amazing car and it has some extensive lore,
Chocaron
so I say
básicamente,
S
güey,
tier.
porque el pendejo le dijo culo si no vas más rápido y el otro Simón.
Somewhere in the vicinity of $9 or $10 billion today. I only say that because I've got a follow-up question.
Okay.
What's with the Honda?
This is a perfectly good car.
This clip made me love Jeff even without having met him. This just proves that materialistic things aren't necessarily needed to obtain happiness. It's nice to see billionaires that want to be normal people. You don't need a fancy house or a nice car. Jeffrey Preston Bezos.
El Bezos, güey, el Kisser.
Once drove a 1997
Güey, este es
Honda
el carro de
Accord.
mi abuelita, hijo de su madre, güey.
20 years later, his car collection is now valued at over $20 million. Luxury and excess are generally frowned upon, but let's be honest, if you had all the money in the world, would you be driving an old Honda?
Fino, ¿eh?
Bimbo es la empresa más importante en el mundo.
Se cambió el video siguiente, güey. Y fue así de, ¡no mames, vengo, güey! Yo dije, la lista de los millonarios, güey. Sale Bimbo.